What's up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Blur Without Fear. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, today's video, we're going to be talking about Banner of War Part 2, Thor number 25, by Donny Cates and Martin Coccolo. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what happened in El Paso that caused Bruce Banner and the Hulk to have a falling out. We're going to talk about all this and more right now, but first, let's hit that intro.
You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
So in part 1 of Banner of War, we saw that Odin had unleashed himself into Banner's mindscape. He was able to penetrate Banner's mind and manifest himself before Banner. And it goes about the way I initially expected it to go, where, yeah, they're gonna come to blows. Odin and Banner, they're gonna get into a fight, as his Hulk is already fighting on the outside against Thor. It's happening, it's a thing. It's what superheroes are wont to do to one another. They never want to talk, they always want to throw hands. But due to the fighting going on outside between the Hulk and Thor, it causes Banner to get jarred and knocks him unconscious, and when he wakes back up, of course, not on the outside, but in the mindscape, he and Odin have been transported to a memory of what happened in El Paso. Now, we already knew that Hulk killed a lot of people. This was indisputable. We knew the evidence already. We found out in the previous issue that 17 people have been murdered by Hulk in El Paso. The thing that's actually very shocking about this, though, is how it's depicted. One of the things that I thought was very interesting, that some people say that, oh, there's no reference whatsoever in Donny Cates' run to Immortal Hulk, which is funny because it actually pops up more often than a lot of people think. A lot of folks just don't know why Hulk and Banner fell out. There was a good reason behind it, despite the fact that they were on the same side. Banner even brings it up, talking about how they both faced down the devil and won, that they had forgiven one another. And we even get the references from Immortal Hulk of Banner seeing the Hulk in reflective surfaces. It's all there, it's just that I think people just didn't really understand why the status quo was changed so quickly. But what you need to know is that while Banner was hanging out at some dive bar in El Paso, basically a biker hangout, something happens with the Hulk. The Hulk begins infecting the bikers in the bar with rage, turning them green, like almost in a way turning them into Hulks. Now, this is not something unusual. Hulk in the past has been able to channel gamma energy and even push it into other things, and even been able to absorb gamma energy itself, so this isn't really that unusual. But one thing I don't think we've really seen very much of, if ever, is Hulk being able to channel gamma energy into another person and make them turn into, at least, I guess, a sort of Hulk. And Banner, he ends up being fueled by roughly the same rage as these bikers who are being fueled by gamma. He ends up killing every last single one of them, mutilating them, beating them to death, ripping them apart, eviscerating them in a lot of cases. The thing to take note of here, we never see the actual Hulk doing any of this. We just see Banner. He even talks about how the Hulk used his body as a weapon, that he could do nothing, that he wasn't turning into the Hulk. Banner himself was being piloted by the Hulk, which kind of makes sense when you think about the fact that Banner lately has been, quotey fingers, piloting the Hulk as if he were a starship. He got the idea from what happened in El Paso that the Hulk was using him in such a way that maybe he could do the exact same thing. Instead of turning into the Hulk, literally controlling him by treating him like he's a Megazord. Despite the fact that Banner and Hulk had forgiven one another, Banner felt like he was completely betrayed because he felt like the Hulk used him, that Banner's autonomy was taken away, and that Hulk had basically shit on everything that they had accomplished together in Immortal Hulk. I've gone back and forth on who this was. Was this actually Hulk, or was this Titan who did this, or was this how Titan was created? The only reason why I think maybe this was actually the Hulk doing this and not Titan is because literally right before all this happens, we see the Hulk, the Savage Hulk, not Titan. Titan has not been shy about showing himself when he wants to be present. This was the Hulk, and we gotta remember, the Hulk literally apologized for what he did in one of the previous issues. But I also believe it's under the influence of Titan, and let me kind of explain what I'm saying here. Titan is what you get when the Hulk hulks out. No different than what happens when the Hulk appears, it's because Banner hulked out. I believe this is Titan having taken over Hulk and in turn taking over Banner. He keeps trying to surface repeatedly, having already surfaced on another Earth. I think he's just slowly working Banner and Hulk over until he can become the dominant personality. Which explains why Banner is trying to put Hulk somewhere where he can do the least amount of damage. It's because he knows that the Hulk can't control Titan. No differently than how he had difficulties learning to control Hulk, he knows that Hulk is incapable of controlling Titan at this point in time. Now, getting back to how Banner did this, we don't really know exactly how, because not even Odin knows how he did this. Even Odin recognizes that what Banner has created, this Mindscape, the way he's controlling the Hulk, creating all these things for the Hulk to fight in the engine room, Odin admits whatever this isn't just science. He's saying that there's great magics at work here, powerful magics at that. Now, once again, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and even in the Marvel Comics universe to an extent, science and magic go hand in hand, so it's not that far out of the realm of possibility that he was able to do something like this. And of course, we know that all the stuff that's been going on with Gamma does have some kind of a root in the occult, and this even calls back to Immortal Hulk itself. Pretty much that entire series dealt with how Gamma was connected to the supernatural. But they don't really get the opportunity to figure all this out, because as Banner has been in the Mindscape with Odin after being knocked unconscious, what that did was it put the Hulk in control of the Hulk body, and the Hulk thinks that he's still in the engine room, which is why he's fighting so fiercely against Thor. He doesn't realize that he's not in a simulation, and while Thor can take pretty much anything the Hulk has to throw at him, a new player steps into the arena, and that's Iron Man. As we saw earlier in the issue, he is done with dealing with Banner. After everything that happened in the first issue, he recognizes that Banner would have killed him if he were not remote piloting the Hulk Buster that he used against him in Hulk #1. And while he's been messing with celestial tech, not only just in terms of the Avengers living in the body of a dead Celestial, but also the stuff that he got during King in Black, where a Celestial that had been overrun by Null symbiotes, he's taken that tech and he used it to create a gateway not that dissimilar from the Fantastic Four's Forever Gate. It's a portal that would allow people to travel to anywhere pretty much in the known universe, even across the space-time continuum. We've seen Hulk use it, and in issues 1 and 2 of Hulk, he was able to travel the multiverse and travel to alternate realities. Tony is going to use not just that piece of technology, but also a new Hulk Buster, one of a celestial size. This isn't that surprising considering that he remote piloted a symbiote-covered Celestial in King in Black, only this time he is piloting this thing like an actual legit Megazord. This is actually a really cool issue. I liked what Donny Cates did setting up the conflict between Hulk and Banner, revealing that Hulk violated Banner's trust. Now, we don't know the reasoning behind why he did what he did. I'm hoping that we figure that out very soon, but something tells me that this helped birth Titan into existence. There is a possibility that Titan was already there, and maybe Titan was the one who pushed Hulk into doing what he was doing, because as we know, especially over the course of Immortal Hulk, the Hulk alters can communicate with one another inside Banner's Mindscape, so maybe there was some coercion into that. But it seems like whatever it was that happened, this was the Hulk taking over Banner, as opposed to Banner losing control of the Hulk. But anyways, don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more awesome videos like this when I break down comic book characters and comic books all throughout the week. And if you're excited for Thor Love and Thunder, you want to know more about Gore the God Butcher, check out my video over here breaking down that character and why he's the most deadly threat coming to the MCU. But in the meantime, let me know what you thought about Banner of War Part 2, Thor #25. Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.